So you mentioned in releases, so have you got like a favourite one?
I started making music just over 3 and a bit years ago now, so to be 2 years into the journey and releasing a label like Subway Sounds for me was amazing. That helped me sort of climb the next rung in the ladder, you know what I mean, and have that relationship with Logan D and other bigger artists, and I think that release definitely it showed people what I'm about on a big label, and that helped me open a lot of doors in terms of people listening to my music.
Alright guys, welcome back to a Ravers Guide podcast, where we give you the inside out of the music scene in general. Today I'm joined with DJ Breakout, who works in DNB Collective. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks mate. How are you?
Good, yeah, I'm good, thank you. So I want to go straight into it and just ask that, where did your love for drum and bass come from?
Oh mate, honestly, it's one of those things which stuck with me ever since I was a kid. I remember being in my cousin's car. I was probably about 9 or 10. He was playing Shy FX Feelings, and I thought, oh yeah, this is a bit of me, I really like this. And I asked him, what is that? And he goes, oh, it's jungle and drum and bass. And then from there it stemmed from seeing people like Sub Focus, and then eventually into more like liquid stuff, and then jump up, and then minimal, and it all kind of sort of stemmed from there really. So yeah, I'm 25 now, so been a DNB fan for 16 years. So,
wow, that's impressive. So who would you say like was your inspiration? Obviously you mentioned Shy FX.
Yeah. I think in terms of inspiration, in terms of where I am now, in terms of a DJ and producer, I'd say definitely sort of Dominator, rest in peace, it's obviously a shame that he's not here now, but the legacy that man left on not just jump up, but drum and bass in general.
Yeah, 100%.
His tunes are still being played now, and it's crazy the impact he's had. So
yeah, and people are still going absolutely off to his tunes, which is nice to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So I want to jump straight back into the raves and everything. How was it playing at DNB Collective? Obviously the Invasion.
Yeah, mate, that was one for the history books, honestly. Obviously being part of the team and starting and working on that months before it actually happened, and then sort of seeing the actual day and people enjoying themselves and all the great reviews we had, it made all the work worth it. I think people sometimes don't see what goes on to actually put on a rave of that magnitude.
A lot.
And there's a lot of team members that we have, which production, lighting, sound techs, and artist liaisons, things like that. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, playing Invasion, especially to do it with Luigi, one of my best mates, we're both from Leicester as well, and being able to rep our hometown on a stage like that was a great moment.
Very surreal, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone said a bad word about the Invasion events, and every time it's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
can't wait for the next one.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's Invasion 3, May 24th, 2025, and early bird tickets on sale now if anyone wants to get this.
Get your tickets now. You hear me? Don't miss out on that one.
I won't say much, but all I will say is the lineup's not to be missed. So yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Get your tickets now. Do you know what I mean? So was there like any funny moments you can tell us from the event?
I would say kind of funny, kind of surreal. So obviously now events of that magnitude where you got security and stuff and people setting up things, and we had to obviously sort of start the show a bit late, so the opening DJs unfortunately didn't really get a crowd for the first half an hour, 40 minutes, and I was on next, and I remember I turned up and I thought, oh god, is something happened to someone, or what's going on, or what's happening? And then I just remember then they opened sort of the venue, and people just rushed in about 10 minutes before I started, and it was literally like, they were just excited to be there. And I played the first tune, and then obviously Ouija did his iconic bar, and they just literally, it was like being at a football ground, honestly. And it was kind of surreal for me because I sort of doubled like a normal song starter with one of my own tunes for the first time I ever played it. And to get that reaction, and get the wheel up from Ouija and things like that, I think it was just more. It was obviously a bit funny at the time, thinking is it gonna go or is it not? And then, just that moment was so surreal, to be honest.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you've seen all them people running as well.
Yeah,
it must have been like, Jesus Christ, I could not mess this up.
literally, honestly, it was kind of like you're at a festival, like back at Boomtown, and the stage and stuff. And I think that moment for me was, both personally and for the brand, it was something that was really surreal for us, and for all of us part of the team, booking Andy C last year.
Yeah.
You can't really get much bigger than that.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Mental.
Yeah. It was a bucket list booking for us, and it was a great show overall. So yeah.
Yeah. So staying on the topic of DNB Collective, can you tell me like what your role is? Like, what do you help out with?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I'm sort of the logistics and advancing lead, is what I'd say. So in terms of just sorting out riders and making sure people know where to park, hotels, etc., things like that. There's a team of a few of us. We obviously have Jack, the owner, and then we have a few other team members in graphics, social media, TikTok, things like that. So there's a big team of us all behind the scenes, and we all work together to put on great events, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you're doing well so far.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Also, you guys have also started up your own label.
Yes, we are.
Can you tell me about that? Because the first release on there, it was a big one. Can you tell me what that release was?
Birmingham to Ibiza, JB remix. Yeah. So the idea of the label, the owner Jack, he's wanted to do that for a long time. And I think it was trying to find the right moment and the right tune for us to start. And I remember obviously that Birmingham to Ibiza tune was being played everywhere. And I went to JB and I said, look, like, I'd really love to sign this with you, and really love to sort of get the official clearance, because obviously Socks the Grime Rapper is the original artist. So I said we can obviously ask him if he's down for putting it out officially. And we'd love to have that debut release with you. And obviously you met JB, he's a really, really nice lad.
Yeah, lovely bloke, yeah.
And he was all up for it. And then obviously behind the scenes we had to sort of negotiate with Sox's management and get that over the line and things. And then artwork, and then obviously mailing it out to everyone. And then seeing people like Boo AMC play it on Boomtown.
Yeah, I was there for that. I remember talking to him about that.
And I remember just seeing it, and I thought, like, what have we actually done? And then it obviously went Beatport #1, which for us, for our first ever release, was a moment. And I think it's sort of set us up for more success, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely chose the right tune for it. It was good you waited.
I
don't think you would have got a better tune.
Yeah. And so people ask me sort of what's coming next, and we've got a few things coming which I can't say yet, but I think with us it's more about quality. We don't just want to sort of pump tunes out.
That's the main thing. Yeah,
more just like it's the right tune that fits our brand and also fits the artist too, right? So that's sort of where we stand on that, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so obviously you've learnt to DJ and started to release your own tracks. How did you first get your opportunities to start playing at events and stuff?
Yeah, so to going back to my uni days a few years ago now, I joined the DJ Society just because I didn't know anyone in Birmingham who liked drum and bass, I guess. And I've made sort of lifelong friends now from there. They sort of taught me to DJ, taught me how to beat match, and then literally just entered DJ comps, used to fly for local promoters in Birmingham. And Leicester, my hometown as well, and just sort of go from there into DJ comps, play room 2s, 5 till 6 in the morning, things like that. Just sort of build my brand and my name up, really.
Have you got like a favourite venue from back then?
Yeah, I think this is for the Birmingham Heads, Amusement 13. It's a shame that place is shut now, but
what was it like?
I don't know how to describe it really. It's more just, if you were there, you know what it was like.
Yeah,
what I mean? It was like the atmosphere of that place, the sound system was booming all the time. The level of DJs that used to play there. I remember seeing AMC absolutely tear it up, and thinking like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And that was a big inspiration for me, being at that venue. And I never got to sort of play there properly before COVID and shut down. But
yeah, it's a shame. Yeah,
but yeah, that venue was a historic part of Birmingham.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously we're talking about the DNB Collective. What part of your life you was like, like DNB Collective, this can be something we're just going to keep growing and keep progressing?
Yeah, sure. So I think for us, I remember back in COVID, I was still sort of not part of the team, and then Jack the owner asked if I wanted to sort of be on board, and sort of help him out with a few lineups and things like that. And yeah, it was one of those things where I sort of jumped up the opportunity, and it was great to be involved in it. And then from there, obviously myself, Jack, and everyone else as part of the team, we sort of grew the brand sort of month by month, event by event, and sort of trying to sort of work our way up the ladder, I guess, really. And big shout outs to obviously all the people we've worked with behind the scenes to help us put it on. And also all our fans, all the ravers that come to our raves, they're the most important. And our goal is to make sure they have a great time at our raves. So
that's good. That's good. Yeah. So you're talking about the lineups. Obviously, how hard would you say it is to build the perfect lineup for an event?
I mean, I'd say there's never the perfect lineup. I think it's always, there's other factors. DJs have other shows. Sometimes it just doesn't work out logistically, things like that. In terms of putting it together, though, it's you know, sort of putting ideas down, brainstorming, what's unique, what's different, how can we sort of, you know, do things that are different to the norm, really.
Yeah.
And also a big part of us is giving new DJs an opportunity as well.
That's good.
We do run regular DJ comps, and every time there's always someone different who wins and gets to play sort of the main stage at Lab 11, for example, opening set. And you know, for us, giving them the opportunity sort of lets them build up their brand, and you know, they want to come back and work with us in future and things. And you know, I think for us, that's a big thing about giving something back to people.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's part of who we are as people and who we are as a brand.
Yeah, no, it's good you're opening door for new upcoming artists, because there's a lot of talent out there at the minute coming out. Is there anyone in particular you think we should keep an eye out for?
You know what? There's so many people who
you can name a few if you like.
A few. Yeah. So first, I'd say Herbs. He's doing really well. You know, or John has a lot to call him. So yes. Yeah, he's a great lad. You know, he's doing really well and really good. Excited to see where he goes, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, JJ. Basically my music dad. You know, he's been making tunes for years and years. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. You know, I'm always sort of playing his tunes and things, and you know, it's he's a really good person too. Couple more, I'll probably say Steric's another guy. You know, I've been making tunes with him since I first started producing, and probably got about 50, 60 together now.
Wow.
You know, we had our first debut release on Low Down Deep together, which was a big moment for both of us. And you know, again, he's another one who doesn't really get the recognition he deserves.
Yeah.
And sort of last but not least, definitely JB. You
know,
he's smashing it at the minute. And you know, there's just a few. There's so many other names I could say, but it's just off the top of my head, really.
Yeah, well, there's some interesting names there, so make sure you keep an eye out for them. So obviously, through the whole journey so far, is there anything you wish like went different?
In terms of been different, no, I wouldn't say no. I think everything that's happened in my journey has happened for a reason, you know, and there's been good moments, tough moments, you know. You go through so much as an artist nowadays, I feel. It's more just about being resilient and, you know, learning to sort of take the constructive feedback you get in a good way and learning to work and, you know, bettering yourself really is what I'd say. I'm really proud of the journey I've had so far, and, you know, thank everyone who's been part of it. You know, like when I first sort of started after lockdown producing, boys over at Gradient, they helped me out quite a lot. You know, really appreciate what Amplify Metalwork and
yeah, they're doing bits. Yeah,
well, really appreciate what they've done for me, and you know, it's it does mean a lot. They're a big part of my journey at the start, and you know, I wouldn't change anything different about it, really.
No,
So,
that's good.
yeah,
I mean, you're happy with how it's gone, basically.
yeah. Big thanks to those boys.
No, I'm sure it's only going to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So moving on back to events, have you got any events coming up?
So yeah, we've just announced our UKV Belgium UK tour.
Wow.
In collaboration with Exert Records. So yeah, 5 dates. We got starting off in Birmingham, then we got Bristol, Milton Keynes, Sheffield, and finishing up in Nottingham. So yeah, 5 dates throughout March next year. Sign up's live now if you haven't signed up, guys. And the lineups will be coming out in the next sort of few days, couple of weeks or so, in terms of who's actually playing which events. We've done an A to Z of all the artists on the tour. And yeah, that's sort of a big focus now for us is March, and then obviously leading to Invasion, and then beyond, I guess.
What can we expect from that tour?
So, sorry, what was that? Sorry.
What can we expect from the tour? Just absolute scat.
I'd say a bit of absolute scat, a bit of some surprises. I won't say what. You got to be there to see them.
There you go.
And yeah, I think something different from us. You know, I think it's people know us for backing that jump up scat sound, and that's what we always have done. But at the same time, I think we've always been true to ourselves in nurturing up and coming talent, and you know, big artists who are big now played our raves when they were up and coming when we first started, and that's a big part of who we are. Like if you look at the A to Z of who's on there's a lot of upcoming talent who don't really get the chance to sort of play in the UK, like the Belgian lads, for example. Not a lot of them got to play in the UK. And that's what, like I said before, what we're about, you know, giving opportunities, and that tour is going to be something special. So yeah, if you can make it, it'd be one to remember.
Yeah, I mean, there you go, get your tickets again for that event. I'm pretty sure it's going to go off. So obviously we're talking about just the new year. Have you like set yourself any goals for next year which you want to accomplish for yourself or for the brand?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, for the brand and the label, it's definitely getting other people at number one. You know, I think that's with Born to Ibiza, obviously, you know, that was a really big tune. You know, we sort of set the goals for ourselves where we'd love to do it again with another release of ours. In terms of myself personally, just sort of playing on sort of bigger shows and having releases on a few bigger labels and things like that. You know, obviously I'm I've had that first debut release on Low Down Deep with Logan D and stuff, and you know, I'd love to sort of follow that up, and you know, other labels out there like Brewcast, Exert, you know, just to name a few, for example, you know, things like that where I can sort of get my tunes on those bigger labels that I've always looked up to would be cool. And yeah, just keep on going with the shows, hopefully play a few festivals and things like that. So yeah.
Oh well, I hope you accomplish all of
Thank you
that.
very
That's
much.
good. You mentioned more appearances.
Yeah.
What festival appearance would you want to be at next year?
That's a tough one.
Is there like a main one? Or,
Yeah, I'd say in terms of the UK, it's got to be Boomtown, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you can't beat Boomtown. I mean, you know, the vibes that are there and stuff, and you know, the feeling you get, and that place is special. It's got a sort of special place in every UK raver's heart. I think for any sort of electric music genre you're into.
Yeah.
In terms of like sort of abroad, Rampage, that's always been a goal.
Oh yeah.
Out in Belgium, I think it suits my sound really well. And you know, a lot of my friends have played it and told me about how good it is and stuff. So yeah, I'd love to be on those for sure.
Yeah, hopefully it happens. So how many times have you been to Boomtown?
I mean, I've only been the once, to be honest.
Oh, have you? Yeah, same there. Yeah.
It's just only
Are
been the
you
once.
going next year?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not sure yet. I'll have to wait and see what happens. Just because, you know, how things are with life and things like that. But yeah, I do want to make a return. Just that I'm only getting older.
Yeah.
Camping is sort of becoming less and less appealing. So let's see. I'm not sure yet, but
yeah, I'm excited for next year. Got a whole new story coming out as well. So that's gonna be very cool.
Oh, fantastic.
So obviously you mentioned in releases. Have you got like a favourite one?
Favorite release I've had? Oh yeah, I think there's so many. I'm trying to think of which was actually, you know, sort of there. I think the one for me, which was my Subway Sounds EP from Guards, released out August last year, and that was me hitting one of my big goals when I first ever started making music. I started making music just over 3 and a bit years ago now, so to be 2 years into the journey and release on a label like Subway Sounds for me was amazing, and that helped me sort of climb the next rung in the ladder. You know what I mean? And you know, have that relationship with Logan D and you know other bigger artists, and you know, they started to sort of see what I'm about really. And
yeah, I mean the progress is mad.
Yeah, no,
if you look at it,
yeah, thank you, mate, appreciate it. And it's like, you know, I think that release definitely, you know, it showed people what I'm about on a big label, and that helped me open a lot of doors in terms of people listening to my music. And then from there, obviously, it's sort of built onto now Low Down Deep, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. It's like sort of Little Breakout is like, you know, sort of really excited about it really, because when I first started, that was one of my big goals to release on Low Down Deep and Subway Sounds, and I'm glad to say I've done it now. So yeah.
So you mentioned the EP. How long did that take? Did you like know what you was like? What was your headspace when you were going into it? Like, okay, I've got to make an EP. What am I going to do here?
You know what? Honestly, it was like when I made the tunes, I was feeling a range of emotions. A lot was going on in life where I was sort of changing jobs and you know things like that. I just met my missus at the time and things, and you know things were going at 360 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I remember making the tunes, and my sort of signature sound is very sort of fast-paced rave music is what I'd say, and you know the old school sort of Dominator, Magi, like people like that, Sub-Zero, G-Dub, like people like that is what was I inspired upon, and you know that old school sound but with a new school flavor was what I wanted to create. And in that EP, all of those tunes sort of I'd say would fit that description, if you know what I mean. And I remember when I was sitting down to make them, and I thought, you know what, I just really want to make like a really sick rave tune. And that was what I tried to do really. And you know when I got the email through from Logan D and sort of said he wanted to sign it, that was, for me it was a big moment, honestly. I had to just sort of sit there for a few minutes in my car thinking like,
you was in your car with
yeah. So I was going for a walk with the missus on Sunday, just we were sitting in the car just getting ready to go home, and I saw the email come through, and I thought,
what was you like driving, had to pull over? It's like,
I was just about to start driving. Luckily I did it. And I said to her, like, baby, I just had an EP on the Subway Sounds, and she was like, wait, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, like this is the label I've been talking about ever since with Mert and stuff. And you know, I think having that was a big moment for me, because that was a big goal of mine, which I really wanted to sort of tick off. And you know, I'm glad to say I've done it. Did it 2 years into my production journey, so yeah.
That's very cool. I mean, lucky you wasn't driving, because I bet you would have gone absolutely mental, bounced off the walls and everything. So obviously we've mentioned quite a few DJs. Is there like one which you personally want to collab with?
In terms of making a tune?
Make a tune with.
Oh, that's a tough question. I think I'm really honoured to have made tunes with so many big artists and peers already. I think my dream collab, I mean, it's got to be Maggie for me. You know, I think Maggie has made such a big impact on just jump up and drum and bass in general. I still spin so many of his old tunes. And you know, he's always so nice whenever I speak to him, and you know, I've sort of sent him my tunes and things like that. And you know, I think making a tune with him would be a big goal of mine. Also, I'd say sort of Sub-Zero, Logan, Turner, people like that, just people who I've really looked up to ever since I started. You know, and I've been really lucky to make tunes with other big artists too. So you know, I really feel honoured that I've had those opportunities, and yeah, I think those names there would be a big goal of mine for sure.
Yeah, they would be pretty cool.
Yeah, sure, definitely, mate, sure.
So moving on to back-to-backs, who's won on a back-to-back with yourself?
Oh, you know, that's another tough one.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm doing the tough questions today.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think if you see my sets, I'm very energetic, and I'm always love to sort of have that vibe. And I think there's so many people out there who fit that. I think in terms of going back to back with people, I'd say Turner. I think, you know, the energy I think me and him would both have on the set would be mental.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dance moves coming out and everything.
Yeah, I think
now.
Turner would be sick. Yeah, I think for sure. I think again, there's names I mentioned before like Maggie, Logan, Sub-Zero, people like that. You know, I think again, being able to play a set with those guys would be a big achievement for me. And something that I'd love to do.
Oh, good answer. So on the subject of DJing, what's one tip you'd like to give someone who's just starting out, like they've just bought their first pair of decks? Like, where do they go from there?
What I'd say is, first of all, don't rush the journey. You know, I think people nowadays really just they sort of see people in big lineups and think, right, I want to be there ASAP, basically. And it's more about learning your craft, making yourself unique. I'd say just learn to beat match and just learn to mix one tune into the other, and sort of treat it as in I'm mixing one tune into another and then one tune into another, rather than thinking about all these quad chops and
some people go a bit over the top.
Yeah,
where you don't need to.
And you know what, like I respect that if that's your thing, but I think for me it's more about when you're starting, like, you know, I think you just need to have that sort of in your head, you know. And also just sort of in terms of tips, just make sure, you know, you're you know, have something unique, like different blends, you know, if there's stuff that you've not heard before. Like if you see a good blend, don't go and copy, is what I'm saying, you know. Think of something different, you know. There's tips I'd say. I think, you know, we all started off with our little controllers in our bedrooms, didn't we? So, you know. so yeah.
So what's one thing, bit of advice you'd want to give to people who are just about to perform at their first set?
First thing I'd say is, obviously it's really nervous. Just treat it like a practice session. That's what I used to do in my head. I remember first time I played Lab 11 main stage, it was just literally the week after lockdown ended, 3 years ago now. And I remember going there and I thought, my God, there's so many people here. And I just thought in my head that I'm at Pirate Studios, just like, you know, in my head, I just thought, right, I'm just going to mix one tune into another, one tune into another. And then that's the way I sort of approached it. And that's what I would say, you know, just treat it as if you're practicing and just focus. And I'm not really one for sort of like, you know, having a drink before your set, I think is another thing. Just, you know, I mean, that's people's choice, that's people's choice. But for me, it's more about being level-headed, making sure you perform. At the end of the day, promoters booking you to perform at their rave. I just kind of like, you know, if you're in another job, really, you know, you wouldn't go and you wouldn't go and get tips before you.
That's a good point.
Things like that.
I guess everyone has a different way. That is also a very good point.
I think for me, it's more just like, obviously, as for part of a brand myself, you know, I think for us, it's like the respect goes a long way. I think, you know, I think if for us, you know, every DJ we've had has always, you know, been great to us, and you know, and stuff, and you know, I think, you know, sort of approaching it as like, you know, like a job almost. Also have fun with it, of course, is what I'm saying, you know, but in terms of, you know, making sure you're level-headed, and, you know, performing, and then from there, you know, just people will enjoy it and they'll start rising. So,
100%. So as we're reaching the end of the podcast, just got 3 more questions I want to ask you, a bit more personal. So obviously drum and bass is a big genre for you. Is there any other genres you listen to, like on your Spotify Wrapped or like your SoundClouds?
So I literally everything, to be honest, mate.
Bit of everything,
Bit of UK rap, US hip hop. My girlfriend's got me on the 80s stuff now.
Oh, really?
So I'm onto that. Just sort of banger of Bollywood music from my dad's influences. Some bit of bass line, bit of house here and there. So you know, I kind of love everything, really, mate. You know, sometimes it's good to just wind down, and just sort of listen to something different sometimes, and you get inspiration from other genres too, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good thing.
So sure, definitely.
So obviously drum and bass is the main genre. Would you like to incorporate other music into drum and bass, so like rap, pop, like into it? Is there something you'd like to do maybe one day?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, I'd love to sort of work with rappers on sort of drum and bass stuff, but also I think sort of pay homage to my sort of heritage and like the Bangla Bollywood influences. I think I saw a few people have done it and stuff, but I think for me, I really want to make it authentic. I think, you know, I don't just want to sort of whack a tabla in, basically, you know what I'm trying to say, sort of really make it authentic. And, you know, I think that's one thing which I would love to do. Like, I'm one of the few sort of South Asian artists, I'd say, in drum and bass and jump up, really, to be honest. And, you know, I think for me to sort of represent that would be a big step for me and my community, really. So
there you go. That could be a new project.
Yeah, it could be, to be honest. I mean, I've got too much going on right now.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, that no day is really a day off. But like, what do you do if you've just got nothing to do? You're just chilling at home. What do you do?
So I guess it's just sort of spending time with my girlfriend, sort of watching a film, watching some Netflix.
Are you a staying in type of guy? Going out?
Bit of both, really. It depends. I mean, at this time of year, definitely sort of staying.
Yeah, it's a bit cold, isn't it?
Yeah, this time of year. But yeah, in the summer, just going for walks, spend time with my family, my little brother. You know, just things like that, really. And my other friends, you know, go for food or a few drinks, stuff like that, really. Just sort of doing normal things.
Normal things, you know, got to keep it balanced.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You know, like, I think you can really get sucked into the rave lifestyle sometimes with, you know, with the late nights.
It's a bit like go.
Yeah, late nights. Not the best food, you know, or drinking all the time. Things like, you know, things like that. I think it's sometimes good to sort of switch off sometimes and, you know, sort of do things that are sort of not normal, I guess, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to have that side of your life alongside of it, because you just get a bit much sometimes. No, I reckon, yeah. So last question, I just want to get your opinions on the studio. Yeah. What do you think about it so far?
Yeah, no, it's wicked. Great space. Really enjoyed my set as well. Thanks for having me. And you know, it was great facilities. You know, I'd love to come back and make a few tunes and things. And it's a great place. If you're not already, come down, get yourself down. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we're more than welcome to accommodate you anytime.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you for coming down. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this marks our last episode of the year. You know, fully booked year. Just want to say thank you to all you guys who have been watching. It honestly means the most to me and Paul and everyone else here at Studio 808. If you guys want to drop in the comments anyone you want to see next year, just let us know. We're already having a look at some major artists. And yeah, thank you for everything.